cheating that's the programming. It's being in a relationship that's the programming. And I think that all too often men are treated as though being in a relationship is our default setting, and it is not. That is not natural to us. It's not our default setting. It's not even our innate desire. If most men are being honest, the reason why most men want a relationship is for the sake of a woman that they care for. But if it was not required to have a relationship to attain that particular woman that they care for, most men would never be in a relationship. It's not on most of our minds. It's not our dating or mating strategy. It becomes a dating and mating strategy for older men solely because their testosterone is on the decline, and realistically they can't handle multiple women once they get to, like, most men in their 40s, after one nut, at the end of the day they're done. So at the end of the day they can't handle multiple women. But if they had the testosterone being burning through them and that desire, trust me, their body when they wake up is telling them to go take something down before that every day. I don't think women really understand it, because I don't think women are as often put in a position where they have to deny their nature. So like, women don't have to deny their period, right? Like, we all accept that you have periods. We all accept that you have PMS. We all accept that we all accept that women are emotional, and there are certain behaviors that are innate in them based solely off of the fact that they're women. And as men, we're taught to accept that. With us, we're told that those basic innate things are a lack of discipline or some type of lack of self-control. And I don't feel that that's the case. I think it's just that this is our innate natural desire. Another example is like why I take an issue with that, especially with the sexual discipline thing, right? It's like literally every single body part on a human being is utilized daily. From your eyes, you utilize them daily. You utilize your nose daily. You utilize your mouth daily. You utilize your arms, your feet, your stomach, your asshole. You utilize daily. But for some reason, men are consistently told that the first organ that wakes up every morning, that's the one the one that brings them pleasure, the one that brings them the most pleasure, and the one that literally is responsible for procreating, bringing us life. That's the one that y'all tell us that we need to have discipline over, or that we need to somehow self-control. And to me, personally, I feel like that's society repressing the male sexual desire in order to get the man stuck into society and being a productive member of society. So I feel as though that's where the conditioning is. It's teaching men that they're supposed to be in a relationship and they're supposed to be quote unquote faithful, when really that's not our nature. We're only doing that for the sake of women.
Cloud Jones says we are only in relationships for the sake of women. It's not in men's nature. I'm going to start with you, Trey. What do you think about that, brother?
Well, he definitely has some valid points in there. There absolutely is some serious suppression when it comes to uh, male nature. We are demonized for being sexual, and there absolutely seems like there's some serious suppression going on when it comes to male behavior. Definitely on a sexual level, and just an attack on masculinity in general. As far as if we think that there's some type of conditioning, yeah, we know that's for sure, but I don't have the answers as far as what it is we're supposed to do. I think that we would end up just being in a circular argument to say what we're meant to do. I think that's an opinion to me. What I normally and would advise someone to do is to find a person who is likely to be with your situation, ready to get on your program. Whatever it is that you do, if you decide that you want to deal with multiple women, then you find women who would like to deal with that. Typically, most men can't handle multiple women, at least holistically, as far as taking care of them, covering them, protecting them, and just providing for them in every way, whether it be not just financial, but emotionally and everything else. And it could honestly be a headache trying to keep up with that. So I think that if you are going to have women in your life, then you should be responsible for them to an extent, for, I guess, whatever it is that you negotiate, right? Now, permanent partners and things of that nature, if you're going to do that, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it. So I get the idea most men are not going to be able to handle that. but there are some men who absolutely can. And who am I to tell you that you shouldn't if you and the women you are with agree with that? So I honestly don't have an answer for what it is that we're supposed to do. You can ask 10 different people, and I think you honestly will get 10 different answers on what it is we are intended to do. So what I say is do what works best for you and find a partner who's going to agree with that.
I want to ask you this, Trev, because it's a lot of gentlemen that agree with what Clout said in that last video. Where are they getting this information from? Is this something that you think men just feel inside? They have to be
No,
getting this from somewhere.
I'll say this. It's a theory, but it's based on logic, right? If you look at the fact that we can impregnate infinite women, right? And women can't operate like that. It appears as if women are absolutely designed to deal with one man, but it does not necessarily appear that men are the same. Our nature is more sexual. So if you think about it, if you want to say, you can absolutely have the argument that biologically our sexual drive is higher than a woman's, right? For some men, they have an insatiable thirst for sex. And usually, now I've met some women who will, smash you under the table. We ain't gonna lie. But typically, women struggle to keep up with the sexual drive as of a man. So if you're basing that on that logic, it's not out of the realm of possibility that we could actually be designed to be with multiple women. So they're not getting it out of nowhere, but it's not for me. But I could imagine why some men would absolutely say, you know what, this is how I feel. And if you're being honest about it, then I don't see an issue with it.
All right, go ahead, M. White.
No, I actually agree with Clout and Trev. I didn't combine y'all names to Trout. My fault. I agree with Clout and Trev. Second week in a row. Yeah, Clout. I think he was explaining. He explained it well. We had did a video a while ago about it was a show on Jubilee called Alphas versus Betas, and in that video, what they were describing was men who visibly, it appeared, had higher levels, all had this desire and appeal to have multiple women. And the men who didn't, there were some men who traditional values had encapsulated that, so it had nothing to do with testosterone. It was more to do with the ideology. But then there was another sect of men who did not want multiple women based off they never had the desire at all, ever in their entire life. So I thought that was interesting. And they said that they felt pressured by men to want more women, when the men on the opposite end said they felt pressure to want less women, to be monogamous. So I think it did, like Trev said, it depends on the individual, right? And everybody has an individual approach. It's an outfit. You put it on, you got to wear it. Just make sure it fits you the right way. Don't be concerned about what these other people say, and do what's best for you. Be honest, like Trev said, and there's no wrong way to go about that. Just do what's best for you.
All right. Go to you, Murph. What are your thoughts about this, man? So many conversations about it's in men's nature.
I'm gonna speak on it from two different perspectives. In the masses, majority rules. Based on what was said by Clout, because I am a man, I can solely agree because of that category. I mean, we all men. But I myself believe that some of us are in a small percentile minority where we just different. And it comes with that level of, some people don't look at life differently. Everybody looks at it differently. Spirituality, you got mental, you got emotional, you got just a physical form. So I really believe that for me, listening to the conversation, he said he had some good key points But when it's all said and done, you know, I know some women that, you know, and they, again, biologically, some women in they between 40 and 50 are more sexually active than men. I mean, that's just that's the actual, you know, fact. You know, everybody sexuality is different based on their age, based on their religion, their faith, their mindset, and where they are. The whole thing with my two brothers was talking about with the honesty part was, I believe a lot of people so big on being honest with other people. We gotta be honest with self first. Some people don't even know how to be honest with self, so they can't even be honest with others to address the particular subject we're talking about. Like, you know, you can't even, you know, I see so many men and women partaking in different things sexual, and they're not even honest with themselves, with their own actions. So I think it starts with that first. It's so many levels when you talk about this particular subject, because the word, to me, when you say the means, it's a mental means, it's a physical means, it's an emotional means, and then it's a spiritual means when it comes, and it's also a physical means, because, like, you know, your brother stated that, you know, some women have a higher sex drive at certain times, some men have a higher sex drive than men, and so forth. So I think it goes back to what what my last brother just said. It's an individual thing. It really comes down to your individuality and your makeup, and you being honest with self on what you're trying to do. You know, I think that's the base of it all. When you break it all down, he made a comment about, you know, men can procreate more than women. See, women, you know, if you know what ovulation is, you know, they ovulate a lot more than the average man would be accustomed to understanding. So a woman can have 100 kids if she wanted to in a lifetime. But, you know, that then we look at society and different things of that sort that dictate, you know, again, it goes to the strains and the things that we've been brainwashed and accustomed to, you know, adhering to. Again, it's a lot of percentile of us men, you know, especially in our culture, that, you know, we don't go according to the rules or the powers that be. So again, I just want to get back to what my brother said. Individuality and being honest with self is where it starts.
Well, and White, like, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say I can have 1,000 kids in 9 months, so probably more than that. Shit. So,
That's true. That's true. That's true. You can't.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of kids.